Hi, my name is Martha Brown of I Plan for Marriage. I am a marriage planner and I help couples who are interested in improving their communication so that they can have greater satisfaction in their marriage.
And I am Vivian Vi Baldwin, event planner extraordinaire and owner of Designs by Lady Vi, where we believe in our clients being a guest at their own event. We pride ourselves in creating stress-free events with a dedication of professionalism and understanding the desires of our client. And we are
I Plan for Marriage,
the podcast. So Martha, how did you become interested in marriage planning?
Wow, that's a great question, Vivian. So it's two parts to that question, or two answers that come to my mind. One, a more personal answer. I was married for 12 years. I got married in my 20s, and unfortunately, I got divorced. It was not, it wasn't what I expected. I had married for until death do us part. And there were a number of reasons why that marriage ended in divorce. I think in many ways, we weren't prepared. We dated for a short period of time. And there were a number of issues just in terms of our values and our belief systems and what we wanted and our expectations in the relationship. However, at the core of that, all of that was communication issues. I think if we would have had better communication skills, who knows, we may have remained married, or who knows, we may not have even gotten married if we would have started out in that way. The other answer to your question is more professional in the sense of I'm a ordained minister. And as a ordained minister, I'm approached to either be an officiant for a wedding, or I'm approached for pastoral care for those who are already married. And in each instance, what I find at the core of those who are asking for pastoral care support is communication. Whether it is a conflict or making a decision or trying to solve a problem within the relationship, communication is often at the core. And so whenever I officiate a wedding, that is one of the things that I require couples to take, is to take a communication course. Unfortunately, I learned how to communicate too late in my relationship, and there was a lot of things that had occurred that were just not repairable. And so even though we are no longer married, we are amicable. We talk from time to time and check in with each other. So it was not necessarily, while it was a hurtful experience, it was also an opportunity for me not only to learn, but to take those learnings and to help other couples that I work with. So the communication course, I learned it while I was in seminary, and I have offered it to a number of couples that I have counseled.
Okay, great. Now, do you mind further explaining exactly what is couple communication?
So couple communication is a 8-hour course that couples take together, and they take it with other couples. It is a hands-on learning experience where we use real life issues. So we're not using scripts or case studies. We're actually using real life issues that couples are able to work through in the class. Of course, the couples need to make sure that they are in agreement with whatever they're going to discuss. It's not very heavy issues. It may be a couple may want to discuss issues around getting to an event on time. And maybe you have one person that's more timely, the other person is not, and just having that conversation of what it means to each person, helping the couple to facilitate that conversation without getting into blaming and accusing and using other techniques in communication that are more detrimental to the relationship than they are supportive to the relationship.
Makes sense. Okay. Great.
So now, Vivian, when it comes to wedding planning, I imagine that there's a lot of communication that occurs within your within your occupation. Say a little bit more about that.
So, yes, absolutely. With the communication, it kind of starts at the beginning and carries all the way through when you really put it in perspective. Things such as, defining their financial comfort zone, which we often refer to as budget. That takes, communication needs to be had so they are willing to spend collectively. When things are most important, what things are most important to them when it comes to their wedding, the reception, because there are different elements that can be unique and personalized to the couple themselves. So, what to them as individuals are important. And then, of course, what to them as a couple is important as well is definitely communication. Sometimes decisions have to be made between package options with vendors or food selections after tastings. Sometimes it could be a little indecisive in between them, but communicating to identify what they want is definitely a part of communication. So all of this communication coming to an agreement essentially with each other.
Okay, so I imagine with your many years of experience, you have probably seen some couples really, or some situations where it really went south quick. What did that look like?
Sure thing. So thankfully, fingers crossed, but luckily I've been very blessed to not have a lot of down falls within my weddings, especially not centered around communication issues. But definitely there are some things that between a couple. For example, I had one couple, there were things like left at home, like the sand ceremony set or the candles and stuff like that for the unity set was said, or if there was jumping the broom, someone forgot that because they thought the other person was going to bring it. Different things like that has been forgotten. Even one time it was a marriage license, so of course they just signed the next day type of thing. Another example that was between a couple, the groom allowed someone to attend that the bride really wasn't too fond of just because of their behavior sometimes. But he didn't let her know that he was coming. This was a gentleman that was coming and so forth. And it kind of created a little riffle, but luckily things, smoothed out. But again, I felt that could have been an in-advance conversation that they communicated about and kind of maybe collectively identified parameters that was both comfortable for him and her, because the gentleman that was invited was very close to him. So that's the reason why he still accepted him coming. Again, communicating that in advance. And, of course, there's times where the example could be more with the couple not communicating something with me. Even the minor little things impacts a timeline. So for example, it was a couple that wanted to give the cupcakes to their guests as their guests came to the cupcake table, but they didn't let me know that in advance. So, that took a lot of time because essentially what they did, they created a receiving line with the cupcakes. So it would have been good to know that in advance. Thankfully, obviously, cake comes after dinner because otherwise it might have created a bigger issue, So, and again, another example that I can come up with is a couple that wanted to do a special intro to their first dance, right? They didn't let me know that their wedding party was a part of this special intro. So, of course, whenever I direct the wedding party on what to do before going into the reception room, I told them to have a seat when the DJ announced, ladies and gentlemen, now the couple will have their first dance. So I'm up here looking like, why they not sitting down? But they was actually about to do another little part to their first dance. So things like that is very important in communicating to me, and of course communicating to each other as far as the couple.
By you sharing that, you're letting our audience know how it is that we're working together as a wedding planner and as a marriage planner, because it's never too early to start thinking about one's communication skills. So thank you for sharing those stories.
Yes, absolutely. And I think sometimes people don't realize how impactful communication is in the day-to-day. And of course, especially in regarding when they are looking to union as one. And of course, obviously planning that big day. So yes. Sweet. So tell me, Martha, how can our couples, my couples as a planner, couples in the world, how can they benefit from taking your 8-hour course on communication?
Okay, so I think that they can benefit in several ways. One way is realizing that by taking the course, because it is an in-person course and it is taken in a group sort of setting. And the reason I do that, because sometimes when you sit one-to-one with a couple, and I have taught it that way, then couples begin to think that you're doing therapy. And I'm not doing therapy. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. What I'm doing is I'm actually offering an educational opportunity for people to learn skills that they can implement in their life. So it is a in-person course rather than online. And the reason why I do that is so that individual couples can see that they have commonality with other couples. Oftentimes, some of the issues that they may bring up, they find out that it's normative, that other people have the same sorts of issues. Also, it creates community. They're able to connect with other couples who are also on a similar journey, that are also early on in their relationship and in their marital journey, so that they can connect with other people, knowing that there are others out here, because sometimes there may be couples that don't know a lot of other couples. They may be leaving that life of singleness and now they are a couple, and they may need to connect. And especially in what we have going on in our society today, if there's an opportunity to create community, I think this is a great way to do that as well. And then also coaching. Through the couple communication course, a part of the training involves coaching. Many times when someone asks a person for advice or guidance, we have a tendency to want to tell them what to do. In this course, couples learn how to coach others on the skills that they have learned. And those skills translate into other relationships. So even if they encounter other people within their life, such as coworkers, other family members, they are able to use these skills to coach others through whatever life experiences that they are having. So that's one of the reasons we do it in person, and that it is done in a group so that they can have those particular outcomes.
Makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Now, is there a better time when couples should actually take the communication course? And is the course like exclusively maybe for couples that are having problems, or how does that work?
Okay, so that's another great question, Vivian. I think that couples can take it throughout their relationship, I guess you could say spectrum or cycle. I've taught it to dating couples, engaged couples, newlyweds. One couple had been married for 25 years. And so they took it as a enhancement to their relationship. I taught it to a dating couple, and that dating couple became engaged and then, of course, married. I taught it to one dating couple, and they, through taking the course, realized that we don't need to take this relationship any further. So hence they dodged the divorce bullet. And so, but they were able to split amicably. So they were able to use the communication skills to realize that, this is not working for us and this is not in our best interest. So again, a couple can take it at any point in time. So Vivian, when it comes to wedding planning, and thinking about all the things that you shared earlier about how couples can have all of these different conflicts, in reaching out to you and actually getting you involved, how does that improve things over against someone just getting their family or friends to help them with their wedding planning?
Sure thing. So, of course, sometimes people think going that route is easier or or cheaper, whatever their reason might be regarding that initial thought. But I find it especially true for like couples whom parents are involved in the planning process. We, like me as a planner, sometimes play mediator, right? In the sense of giving the option that fits best for both the couple as well as where that particular parent is coming from. So kind of finding that balance between the two. Or, perhaps a couple is young or haven't had experience regarding weddings and they need just like a lot of guidance, right? So me being in that position as a planner versus a family or a friend gives me a non-biased approach, right? So I'm not taking sides. I'm literally coming from a perspective of experience, and I think that is the biggest takeaway in regarding hiring a planner over a family member or a friend, in the communication aspect, right? Because like I said, we can take a lot of that off, whereas passing it to another family member might put them in an awkward position and stuff like that, or the friend might be like uncomfortable, right? Because still that's a personal tie, whereas we don't have personal ties, so I think that we can be that great balance, not only in that aspect, but overall on every aspect of the wedding planning and of course the execution by far.
It sounds like that a couple could benefit from both of our services. You as a wedding planner and me as a marriage planner, so that they can not only start their relationship off in a good way, but continue that relationship in their marriage space. So, Vivian, I tell you, this was a good conversation on today. It's always great to talk to you. I'm so glad that we connected so many years ago, and combining our skills, our years of expertise, we are going to make sure that couples not only make it down that aisle, but we are going to make sure that they make it to the silver and diamond and golden anniversaries. And I'm excited to be doing this work with you.
Yes, absolutely. Likewise, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So Vivian and I plan on diving into various topics, and we invite you to join us on this journey. We're going to be discussing how that not only do some of these things such as money and relationships with family, as well as making decisions and solving problems and conflicts when it comes to planning weddings, but how that also translates to the marriage, and how if you start out working on these communication skills at that moment, then they will carry you forward into your relationship. And if you would like to learn more about the communication course that I offer, please check us out on the website.